Hey, what's up? It's DJ. Today we have an awesome day for you for FS25 Mods. A total 34 were released. All platforms got 23 new and 2 updates. However, one of those updates is a new one for console. It's a new map as well. Also, PC Mac players got 7 new and 2 updates. Hey, if you like staying updated with all the latest mods at FarmSim, get subscribed. Let's check them out. Today's a good one. Starting off with our new ones for all platforms, we have the Ponge SPX 816. This is our first AUTOLOAD trailer for FS25. Very, very cool. On here, a couple things. We have Trelleborg, BKT, Midas, Vredestein tires. Of course, AUTOLOAD yes or no. And the folding mechanisms. You have your straight side 1, straight side 2, Vario side, and back end. Kind of like that Vario side, so we'll stick with it. This will hold 24 bales. It'll hold between the 125 and 180 centimeter round bales, and then between 180 and 240 on our square bales. So that's 125, 150, 180 round, 180, 220, 240 on the square. No baby bales here. It's not a super massive trailer, so it's not like you're gonna need anything wild and crazy for this. This is just the base game Deutz. It's an awesome tractor. I know a lot of people like it, so we check it out. So what I've done is I bought some hay bales, grass bales. I don't know. We can just go through and boop, 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 pick them up. Now, unfortunately, it says round bale at the bottom for some really awkward reason. However, everything works exactly the way that it did in FarmSim 22. So if you've used any auto loaders or anything like that, these work great. So definitely recommend get out there and rock and roll. Oh yeah, there's also a trailer hitch on here, so you could hook up a couple of these together. This is awesome. Let's come back through here. You can also raise them up pretty high too. That's so cool. Man, yeah. Oh yeah, one thing to note, there are no straps with this. So, oh boy. Yikes. Yeah, you're not gonna be strapping anything down, but it's not like you need to. Man, I'm so happy we have AUTOLOAD now. Next up for all platforms, the Massey-Ferguson 600 series for Blue Hog and modding. This is a mod that we showed off over the weekend in a mod preview, and it is here. We have a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive model. Engine options from 68 to 80 horsepower. We also have a 90 on there too if you want to go with that. I definitely do. Wheel options from Trelleborg, Continental, Vredestein, Michelin, Midas, BKT, and Nokian tires. We also have a couple different wide setups and duals, which is fantastic. 2 different designs for the air filter, 2 different designs for the front fenders, basically yes and no. We do have a left, right, and both for the beacon lights. Front weight, you could throw that on there too if you want to, and a front loader attacher from Quickie or Hauer, so you can pick the one that you want. Again, with the 2-wheel drive version here as well. A couple things have changed, but nothing too wild and crazy. You just really don't get the front fenders. Oh yeah, and by the way, the front wheels, if I remember correctly here, for some reason I thought I remembered the front wheels changed along with it, but I guess not. Maybe that was something. Ah, there it is. Ah, I knew it. The front wheels also changed some. That's so cool. Taking a look at it in the shop, there's not a whole lot you can do. However, we do have opening and closing doors and rear glass, so that is very, very nice. If you want to do that, good to go. Otherwise, jump in, check it out. Very cool mod. I know it's small, but hey, it is mighty. Next is one I did not expect to see, the John Deere 110-112 round fender. This is from Slushas Modding for all platforms. We have the 110 and the 112, so 8 or 12 horsepower. Wheel setups from standard garden tires. We also have a double set of garden tires on there. More garden tires. Okay, so we're just lazy and just put garden tires for everything. Got it. I understand. We're just going to move on from that then. Pins on the rear hitch. We have a standard and then a round pin. You also have the long pin. Not that that's going to matter. And then attachments, you can also throw a 3-point on there if you want to. Now, if I remember correctly, previously, this had a lot of attachments. Here, this only has the one. We have a riding mower setup, 1.5 meter working with at 7 miles an hour. If we pick up one of each of these, you know what? Let's go with the big engine. Let's go with big wheels, long pin, and then a 3-point because why not? Let's get all of that. Yeah, quite loud, and it still hasn't started moving yet. Goodness. So there is going to be a very long starting animation, and it is start, stop. So be careful. You might break your neck. We should just be able to drive straight over this. Yep, and then we can attach up. Once you do that, you get a new lever there. Boop, got it. And that's going to be for raising and lowering. How cool is that? I think it's pretty neat. All right, all right, all right. She is a bit slow, so hang in there. As far as attachments, I'm assuming some of these STIHL attachments will work pretty well. The STIHL trailer, or well, yeah, whatever that is, that's probably not going to work the greatest, if I'm honest. However, this guy's not terrible, although it barely picks it off the ground. It does look like at least it'll manage to pick it up. Working in the field's going to be another story altogether. We do have the Salix subsoiler as well, so that's pretty cool. And we'll jump that, and there's also a mulcher, although that one might be pushing it a little bit, considering that the PTO is hanging down below a wheel. Although it does turn it on. Trying to move this thing around quicker just to pick it up and go. Next up, a very helpful mod. Finally, we have the ROPA Tiger 6S Premium. This is from eFarmer. It's got some pretty cool stuff on here. So we start off with a Trelleborg tire setup. You can do Michelin minus BKT. You got 796 horsepower with a variable transmission, 1,320 liters of fuel. Goes 24 miles an hour, holds 43,000 liters. It weighs 33.6 tons. It also has a max working speed of 6 miles an hour, as you would expect. Now, because we have all kinds of really fun colors, there's also some blue, so we could change up that. Design's going to be the back. Front guard setup, you could change that. And then rim colors, you could change that too. So we can now do the ROPA Tiger Blue. Is that what that's called? ROPA Blue. Hey, I love that. That's awesome. Now, that's not where the fun stuff happens, though, because right here we have the 945 root crop. So this is going to do all of our standard root crops, and we can even change up the color of the mane and the design in there too. Yo, I bet that design would look good in red. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This will do your parsnips, red beets. It'll also do carrots and sugar beets. And we also have one which will do potatoes as well, but that is a completely separate header. They're both 4 meters wide, and then you've got a header trailer that goes along with it with main design and rim color. So if you were wanting to do some of the other crops that we have in the game, and maybe you want to, do some contracts, well, this might be the thing to go for. Pricing is expensive, yes, but not as much as some. $569, $100,000 for the header. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. Another new one for all platforms. We have the Elho Scorpio 710 stone picker today. It's for black sheep bonding. Again, another video or another thing that we've shown off in a early access video. Wheel options from Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Bredestein. We also have a BKT that we could change up for standard and a standard 2. And then you got rim colors. Originally, this only held, I think it was 2.5 thousand liters. However, they've actually increased that from the version that I showed off up to 4,000 liters. Still 6.9 tons, nice, 170 horsepower, 9.5 meter working width as opposed to the, I think, 5.5 to the base game, and a 10 mile per hour max speed. Very, very cool. Now, taking a look at these, because I do want to compare the two just a little bit so you can kind of get an idea, 120 versus 170 horsepower. 2,000 versus 4,000 liters, 6.8 versus 6.9, 5.5 meters versus 9.5 meters, and 9 miles an hour max speed versus 10 miles an hour max speed. It also costs a little bit more as well, costs $8,000 more, but I think that is well worth it. Next up, we have the Amazon ZA-TS4200, and if you're looking at this going, hey, isn't that our base game spreader? Well, I kind of thought the same thing as well. It costs almost double what the one in the base game costs, and it actually it only holds a little bit more, 4,200 liters as opposed to 3,200 liters. This is extremely expensive for what it is. I don't know what else to say about that. It's still 42 meters, 12 miles an hour, 4,200 liter capacity, decals of old and new, and the warning signs no and yes around towards the side. I think it looks better with them. Yeah, man, I think somebody's finger slipped on the keyboard. $45,000 for this. With the base game it costs $25,000. Get out of here. It doesn't even do lime. Come on. All right, let's move on. Next one is the Elho LK 215. This is a leveler used in silage clamps. You've got no front guard or the standard guard, and then of course we've got colors for the entire machine. 65 horsepower, 6 miles an hour. Next up, we have the Vogel&Noot Farmer M850 pack. This includes 2 plows. We have the 4-share and the 3-share, which is a 1.6 or 1.2 meter working with versions. Wheels of yes or no around towards the back. We do have additional stickers on there, which look great. We do have a bit of an offset here as well. If we kind of take a look, you can see things offset, at least for the header. See the header. The 3-point at the front, so you can change that up if you want to. And then we have a main color design and a secondary design. I am curious which one is which, so I'm going to go main on the white. Well, I guess we know what else is it. You got the shares, and you got the little itty bitty green bits on there. I'm sure this is going to surprise people, but I do have a favorite cultivator, and this is probably it. The Kverneland Enduro Pro 5000F. It is back. 240 horsepower. Forgot how to speak English. 5 meters at 9 miles an hour, $37,000. I love this because it's a larger cultivator that you can hook up via 3-point, and it doesn't weigh a whole lot. You could throw on like a 1500 or a 2 kg weight on the front, and you're good to go. Love it, love it, love it. Next up is a disc harrow, the Horsch Joker 4CT, 140 horsepower, 4 meters at 11 miles an hour. Another cultivator, this is the Pöttinger Terradisc 3001, weighs 1.9 tons, 95 horsepower is required, 3 meters at 11 miles an hour. Got another fan favorite cultivator, the Horsch Terrano 3FX, 140 horsepower on air, 3 meters and 9 miles an hour, as well as this cultivator, the Pöttinger SYNKRO 3020, 90 horsepower, 3 meters at 9 miles an hour. Now, if you're looking at those going, man, that's a lot of cultivators. Well, yes, they are. However, they're all from the same modder, Dispo 93. You may have noticed that a lot of the mods that they release are just returning base game pieces of equipment or things that were added later on. They do work at Giants. I don't actually know who this is at Giant Software, but I know that they work there. So at least there's that. And they're not technically Giant Software mods, though they are done to the exact same standard as a Giants mod would be. Moving along now, we got the AGCO weight pusher from Hispano-Money. Weight setup, so you have 800 kg, 900. You can also do 1 ton, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and back to 800. We also have the pusher configuration on the left or right side, left side, or both sides. This is not going to increase your weight at all, so heads up there. Screw configuration, we do have that, which is, I say screw, it's more like a vise on there. And then hitch configuration, you can throw that around towards the front as well. Of course, we have all the colors in the world, but it comes in AGCO gray, which is the one that you want. Next is an interesting one because it doesn't appear in the mods and DLC section, and I don't know why, but it is these guys. We have 2 STIHL chainsaws. No, I don't want to buy it, but I do want to show it to you. We got a couple chainsaws here from Caston 18. We also got some Buyable baby square bales, which is very cool. The Buyable small square bales. Very, very awesome. So through here, you can buy up to 16 of these little guys, and it actually tells you your capacities as well, which is very nice. You've got straw, you've got grass, and you've got hay. Next up, we have the medium biogas plant package. And I'm not quite sure what about these is medium. These things are absolutely massive. We've got 2 of them in here. We have a 400 kilowatt and a 750 kilowatt. Pricing's pretty high as well over here. You've got the 4, and then you've got the 750 up there. They are quite massive. I'm up here. What I don't even remember what field I'm on. Field number 83 on the American map. I probably could choose a bigger field, but hey, here we are nonetheless. If we go around and take a look at these, you can see everything is around towards the front. I'm trying to figure out if I recognize these from somewhere. I feel like these were... Was this base game somewhere? I'm not quite sure. I have no idea. Nonetheless, hey, they're here now, so if you're looking for some new BGAs and you're really not wanting to mess with the modular system, check these out. Next, we have the old wooden barn. This has got colorable sides. Everything you see in red, I have changed up that color for myself. Come over here, and we open it up. We're good to go. Barn has lighting on the inside, sliding doors on the front, and a classic one right here on the side. There you go. Price is going to be $25,000. Not too bad at all, and it is from AGCO. So if you like their mods, this is one of them. Next up from AUTOLOAD, we have their hay shed. This can be found in silos and will hold 600 bales or pallets, which is fantastic. Look at this thing. Yeah. Price also extremely cheap, $5,600, making it, I believe, the cheapest and most efficient way to store all of your bales and pallets. Very nice. Next up, we got a pair of mods. This is the STIHL mod, 18 by 38 meters. We've got a storage version of this as well as just a regular shed. So if you just want the regular shed, you are good to go. However, if you want to come over here and take a look at this one, well, 1,200 bits of storage. So you can drop everything right here. Everything will store up and get them all out right there. Making this wing, I believe, holding the most out of anything. It is 45 grand though. Additionally, we have the Finnish machinery shed. So there's 2 sheds here, but technically you could do 3 different setups. So this is going to be your first setup right here, just kind of an old garage type thing. And then behind it, we actually have a version with the doors. This reminds me of, did the door not open? There we go. This reminds me of one of the buildings that released like super early on in Farming Simulator 19, which I really enjoyed using. So that is very, very cool. Although, let's see, it's not going to close back up there, so I have to come here and hit that to close. These can be a little bit confusing, but make sure you stand in front of the door you want to move. So I guess if that one's in there, do we have to go in here and move it? Yes, we do. All right. Oh no, I'm stuck. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. I'm panicking. And then over here we have an old building. This one's super duper cool. Love this, love this. This is actually the old garage. Those were the building sheds configurations. We should probably look at this. Shed 16 by 18, old garage. There you go. Apologize for that. In here you cannot change up the door colors, but you can change up the other color. I'm not quite sure I'd go with the one I went with. I went with orange, and it doesn't look great. Nonetheless, in here, there you go. This is pretty cool. This like building right here is something like my grandfather would have in his backyard. I love this. We also have a shed pack, the small shed pack. In here, we've got 3 different sheds to choose from, all different colors. They actually provided some colors too, which is nice. You've got the shed 3, shed 2, and shed 1. How original. Jumping in through here, taking a look. We've got our doors that open up, and this is inside. These are non-American style barn sheds, whatever you want. So, yeah, just a heads up. Also very, very similar to Ica's shed, but hey, well, sheds are sheds at the end of the day, right? Coming around towards here, we have basically a 2-door version of the one that we just saw with no side awning. There you go. Pretty simple. And then over here, we've got a, well, different setup, just kind of pointing the opposite direction, again, with no awning on it. So, if you like shed 1, 2, or 3, here you go. The last new one today is an interesting one. However, it is one that is returning from previous Farm Sim games, the Natural Water, Rivers, and Ponds pack. So in here, you can see, well, there is nothing. It's because it's all the way over there. This is where you can add in different sets of water. However, you're going to have to put them down or dig down to it, because all of these, for some reason, I've never quite understood how these packs work. I ain't the guy for it, man. I wish I could help you out, but it's just maybe Farmer Cop will do a video on it, or somebody like that. But there's all kinds of stuff in here, and you've got different rivers, different pond setups. They're just bodies of water that you can build around. I think generally these are meant to put down and then dig down to them. For example, if we take, oh, these are so massive. This one's a little bit smaller, which is nice. So let's take like a circle one. How about that? That'll work. Yeah, this will be good. We will place it down. Can't see it. Then we have to go over to sculpting, and then we will hopefully dig down to it. There we go. I don't remember where I put it. Oh. Turns out it's over here. I'm not doing any of that. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, you can dig down to the water. The water's still a flat plane, so there is that. This needs to be improved. Nonetheless, you got water, and you can swim over it, and then get to the other side and fall. So lots of bodies of water again. I'm not the guy to show you this. I think we all know that. Oh, come on, slow down, man, slow down. You ain't gotta get all wild and crazy. But you create your own little pond. We do that. They come around towards the edges, build around it, and there you go. It's some water. I need to get better at this. Jumping over to updates for all platforms. This is actually a new mod for console players. So version 101 of the map, New Frontier. They've added an animal dealer, added a warehouse, added 2 new variants of the map, both with 69 farmlands total. We got 5 fields and 64 farmlands. There's also one of the new maps is more focused on forestry gameplay, reduce the overall cost of the farmlands, and randomize the price for each farmland. When you start a new game as new farmer, you will have a home to go sleep in by default, changed the starting farmlands to make it more friendly for new players, and fixed an issue with deadwood missions being too close to the map's edge. So let's jump in and take a look at them. So here is the base map. There are 3 versions of this map now, which is absolutely insane. But hey, at least it gives you some options to choose from. This one is pretty open, fairly bare, so there is that. And we've got a nice flat area at the top right-hand corner of the map, if that's something you're looking for. Here is your PDA. Obviously, we have just squares that we can buy at this point. So there is that. Let's see, 216,000 there. 393, goodness, 471, 353. These were a little bit more consistent. However, there were a few that were a little bit more expensive than others, at least previously. Actually, farmland number 11 may be one of the best ones. Get a little bit of logging done, then you can flatten the area out. Might be a good place to start with. And then over here is your starting farm. So we have 5 fields total. You only get a couple of them. So we own farmland number 10. As a matter of fact, if we go over to farmlands, here you can see we've got farmland number 10 plus fields 1 and 2. You don't own fields 3 and 4, which are also in this area, but hey, at least there is that. If we pop over here, you can see this is kind of our store area for all things considered. And then you've got a place to work on your vehicles, and we've got a couple other things too. And then way over here, we have our house that we talked about. So that is kind of a rough overview of the first version of the map. Now, let's jump over to the second version. This one's going to be New Frontier 69 Farmlands. Into the map now, and looking around, it doesn't look much different. However, it is very different. 69 different setups for farmlands. Also, nice. We've also got... Hey, come on, man. What are you going to do? You've still got the 5 fields and things like that. However, things are a little bit different here. So if we go up to the top and see the farmland that we own, we're now owning less, or well, about a quarter of what we owned beforehand. However, farmland number 3 and 4 are a little bit out of reach. These, as you would expect, a little bit cheaper as well. For example, down here, the bottom right, 190 there, 91 there, 104, and 183. It does seem kind of overall they're a little bit more expensive, but hey, nonetheless, very neat, very cool. So that's that one. Let's check out the third version of the map. This one is called New Frontier Forestry. Well, this one starts a little bit different than the other ones do. That is for sure. So over here, we've got a forestry whole setup. Goodness! There's so many trees! Oh my gosh! Hey, I'm still getting great FPS though, so whatever Ola did, hey, shouty outy to you, bro. Setup here is the same, so we have 69 farmlands still. Everything is kind of set up with the same things that we had beforehand. If I can pop out here up to the farmlands that we own, same thing there, it's just more kind of focused on forestry. So, if you are looking for it, well, it is here. There was also an update a few days ago that dropped like super late, way after I finished my video, so just wanted to kind of let you know about it. This is the old barn with shelter, 1001, top opening door collision fixed. Again, not a mod from today, even though I'm including it. Released a few days ago, just haven't had to talk about it yet. We do have a couple, quite a few actually, new ones for PC today for FS25, starting off with the Kerner FP 300. This is a roller, goes on the front of your tractor. The rollers work forwards and backwards, so I guess you could use this on the back as well, but it's required for the front. There you go. 3 meters, 7 miles an hour, so little guy, 70 horsepower required. Warning signs, we have those, and then we can throw in an extra weight. Does weigh 1.4 tons, so works great as a front weight. Neat little piece of equipment there. We also have the PC branded, the Krpan version of the Lizard ZT or TZ400 that we've recently received. So with stuff just means there's stuff inside of it. Standard means it is empty. You can open it up. You can actually store a chainsaw in there. So go with stuff. Next one is the Move Placeables mod. This mod introduces the ability to move and rotate the placeable objects after placement. So how to use, you can enter the construction menu, click on it, so we can click it here and click move. Now here with the left mouse button, you can adjust the position. With the right mouse button, you can rotate the object, which is kind of nice. However, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. As you can see, but the way what happened was I don't know what I'm doing. So can we save the changes? No. And then like after that, things just disappear. So what happened was, yeah, like in this one, like I'll click this, we'll click move, and as soon as I click my right mouse button, well, it's just nothing. And then I click anything and it just disappears. And then I click no again. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah. Did I break it, or is it just not working correctly? I have no idea. We also have the Filter Shop Productions mod. This mod adds the ability to sort factories in the construction menu by their input and output materials. Default cues are I as in I love KFC and O as in oh no, there's no KFC. This mod is very helpful because it often it's a list full of items and becomes hard to find specific ones. Well, it's not hard to find stuff yet, but it will be eventually. Next, we've got real-time sync. This is kind of a neat one. So this mod allows the ability to synchronize the game time to the real-life time on single-player and multiplayer servers. Auto-synchronization can be turned on and off at any time and can be set as always or limited to only update at a set hour. Game time is synchronized based on the real-time UTCs. UTC time offset can then be set to offset the time from UTC to match any time zone in the world. If the game is behind, it will auto fast forward to match, and if it is ahead, it will slow down until it is matched. And you can also set to auto set time if more than 15 minutes behind. Sleep is disabled while this mod is active. Left control and then / to open the menu. It could be rebound if you wanted via key bind menu. How cool is this? So like I'm recording this at 11:53 in the morning. Well, then it would just be 11:53 in the game. How neat is that? I think that's awesome. That's really awesome. A mod that I've already put on all my game saves and saved the game so it's always there is Reduce Wear Out. I did it before I even recorded this video. It reduces the wear on all vehicles and tools. This means you can work with them longer before they have to go into the workshop. The age and operation hours of the vehicle are still being considered. Reduction dependency is on the economy difficulty level. So easy is going to be less than 20% wear out, 35 in normal, and 50% in hard. And our last new one for PC and Mac players today could be helpful if you are forgetful. This is the fuel level warning. Acoustic tank warnings when the fuel level is less than 20%. What is an acoustic tank warning? It works for diesel, methane, and electric engines. You'll receive an acoustic warning before your vehicle breaks down. Very cool. Let's end it out with a couple updates for PC and Mac players. First one is Info Display Extension version 101. Lua error in calculations for self-planted trees has been corrected the age calculation for trees, added translation corrections, and Turkish translations added. Lastly, we have the Unload Bales early mod version 1001. They fixed unloading and overloading for multiplayer clients, added the Italian translation and Turkish translation. And that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like on it if you did. Get subscribed if you're new and join the DjGoHam fam. Double check that notification bell. That way, when I release videos like this one, you are the first one to know about them. If you're looking for FS25 mods, probably should have said this at the beginning, but that video is already out, so you can go check that out. The JCB Hydra Dig released today, Constellation Truck, Filling Station update, stuff like that. Pretty cool. Otherwise, just have an awesome day. I'm sure you're going to enjoy these mods, and I'll catch you in the next one.